Hey, what's going on, friend? Juan Pablo here. Now, you might be in that situation in which you want to be able to bring your business to the next level. However, you're not sure why. You may have a team in place, but you realize that you're not able to thoroughly diagnose and identify the issues in your business to be able to scale to the next level. You might be at 6 figures per year and you want to get to 7 figures. So I'm here to provide you with 3 key steps. The first key I want to mention is this. You may have a lack of KPIs. KPI is a key performance indicator, meaning you as the CEO, the founder of your business, you may not have documented and quantified all the steps that's needed in regard to your business. Let's take sales, for example, right? That's pretty easy to quantify. You might say, hey, well, my team is just not selling. Okay, well, what is their response rate? What should their response rate be? So you have to first have a standard at which they need to be at, and you being the founder need to be able to do the job yourself so you know what's realistic in your business. And then 2, you have to be able to track the KPIs, the key performance indicators of your team members to make sure that they can actually meet that standard. So for instance, if you were the founder, meaning you were on the sales calls, and you know that, hey, for every 10 calls that you do, at least 20% of them you should close, 2 out of 10. And you've done it. You took hundreds, if not 1,000 or so plus calls, and you quantify it. So you have this data in a spreadsheet that you say, hey, I took 1,000 calls, I closed about 200, easy. So then you should be able to hold your sales team accountable to that same standard. And you can argue that, hey, me being a founder, I was doing many other activities in addition to selling. So if you're just focusing on selling, you should be able to do more than 20% closing. But I'm gonna hold you to the standard of 20%. And so you wanna make sure you document the process, the training that's required so your sales team will know how to sell like you sold as the founder, meaning the same script, the same processes, the same sales techniques, the whole 9 yards, the same secret sauce that you use to get 20% closing rate. You need to train your team on that. So that's the first thing. You gotta have documented standards and hold your team to it. The second key is this. You gotta be able to train your team adequately. So as I shared, you are the founder. So as the founder, you know the secret sauce, and oftentimes that secret sauce, the secret ingredient for you to sell your product like hotcakes is in your head, which is not a good thing, because being that it's in your head, you gotta be able to take what's out of your head and train your team members. So you gotta make sure you meticulously, thoroughly jot down all of the techniques, all of the product knowledge, the step-by-step processes that's needed for your team to be able to sell. So I know I'm using sales as an example, but you need to do this for every department, whether it's customer service, operations, or what have you. You need to take what's out your head and make it as plain as day so anyone new that comes to your team can be able to go through your training and do it. Now, this is the thing I want to mention about training as well. So sure, you might have got everything out your head, but you may have to give them even extra tutelage, because for you, you're the founder. So you might know things about sales, customer service, automations, and you might take your knowledge from these other departments and you might incorporate it into sales. So you realize when you're on a sales call, not only are you just implementing sales techniques, you might also be sharing the operations. So let the prospect know everything that's involved within the product. Or you might bring customer service skills to that table as well. So if you leverage your skill sets from other departments, you too have to bring those other skill sets that will help you with the sale and put that into the training, so that way you can train your sales reps on that. Let's say you hire someone to do sales and they have a sales background, they may not have the operations or customer service background, if that's what's needed in your sales process. So you have to make sure you think outside of yourself and you're bringing a new person out of the street to be able to thoroughly train them. The third key is this. So outside of focusing on KPIs, outside of training your team, you have to observe your team. Oftentimes, many CEOs and entrepreneurs, they just hire someone, they share with them the standard, they track the results, and they train them, but they just let them loose and just be on their own and just continue to let that team member just sell, but without thoroughly double checking your work. As the old adage goes for management, you have to inspect what you expect. So you need to do periodic call reviews. You need to be able to double check and inspect your team's work on a consistent basis to make sure they are selling, for instance, like you sold as the founder. Because eventually, and it does happen with some team members, not all, but eventually they veer off. They stop using the script. They stop documenting or logging their calls. They stop following the processes, the SOPs that you outlined. They forget the training that you gave them 6 months ago. And as a result, you see the results start to dwindle away. So it's important for you to have a plan in place, a process in place to make sure you're consistently auditing your team's work. Now, if you apply those 3 keys, that can help scale your business from 6 figures to 7 figures, and you will have greater insight on how to effectively diagnose problems in your team. Because if you're observing it, if you're holding them to a standard, and you're training them effectively, that ensures continued business success. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how you can, let's say you're obtaining a profit, and you want to be able to take that profit and get a better return than keeping that profit in your savings account or checking account. If you want to go from massive income from your business to passive income through real estate, if you need help with your business as well, we have some more information for you. Just check the link below in the description. As always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.